Hi Capricorn, happy September. Welcome to Virgo season. You guys feel a lot more comfortable now in Virgo season. Leo season was fun, but it was a little bit chaotic. And now that things are more grounded, more detail oriented, you guys are like, yes, I can work with this. All right. So I feel like in September you guys are going to be the leader. You are going to take charge because your ninth house is being lit up. And the ninth house is, I like to always give the dichotomy that if Gemini is the student, then Sagittarius is the teacher. And Sagittarius rules not your ninth house, but the ninth house. And with all of the signs, or not signs, all of the planets, there you go, being in your ninth house, it's very much like you're a teacher this month. Like it's like teacher vibes, and especially with your ninth house being Virgo, it's a very good fit because you can now think logically about things and implement them. I feel like you guys have been thinking about things for a long time. Maybe it wasn't even thinking. You guys were just feeling really heavily about it. Like, I'm really excited to start this thing, but it didn't start, or like it couldn't start. And there's still going to be a little bit of that stagnation this month because Virgo is asking everyone to slow down, which I think is ironic. But yeah, it's like asking you to slow down to really look at your reality and look at the details of things, right? So if you were passionate about something in the summer, now it's the time for you to direct that passion into the, what am I trying to say? I'm like losing my words. I wasn't like this in the other readings, but I feel really tongue-tied and like a lot of the words I want to say aren't coming out. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it. And I forgot what I was talking about. So we're just going to move on from that thought. But, all right, Capricorn, September 2019. Logistics. I was thinking of the word logistics. Okay, yeah, so you're going from passions to logistics and how you can manifest that into the physical, which is your forte, right? Okay. But like I said, something is not happening yet. It's still a little stagnant because it was like a intense, at least for me, because I'm a fire sign. I don't know about you guys, but it was a very intense shift from going from fire to earth, and it was just like, okay. So September is going to be another recalibration month, not as intense as the other recalibration that we did emotionally, but this is going to be more of like a technical recalibration. Like, oh, okay, we're in Virgo season now. We have to go to school now. We have to take care of the kids and take them to daycare now. So it's all types of logistics, details, things that might be monotonous, but it's very important. Ooh, it hit my... Yeah, 8 of coins in reverse. So you're going from the 9 of coins to 8 of coins in reverse. So some of you guys might feel like you're regressing in your work, like things aren't, again, moving forward because you've been passionate about this for so long, and that now that it's an earth season, you kind of expected things to move forward, but they're not moving forward. And you're just like, why? Like, this is really frustrating because, okay, I'm not going to take that. That was like a whole pile. It's really frustrating because I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to do this thing. I'm ready to implement this. But again, Virgo season is asking you to backtrack and look at the details, see if this is really what you want to do, see if this is really the direction you want to go. Yeah, you're not the only one. Everyone is being asked to take a step back because when you decide whatever it is you decide, this is for everyone too. When you decide whatever it is that you decide, it's kind of like locked in. So take this time to really think about it. Like, I know you've been thinking about it, but you were kind of thinking about it more on like the Knight of Wands, like, oh, I want to do this, and maybe we can do this, or if this can happen. It was all very like theoretical. Now it needs to be like, what is the business contract? What are the details? Like, who's coming? What's the date? What's the time? It's like it can no longer be just an exciting idea. It has to be on paper, and it has to be legit. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer, because it's easy to feel passionate about something, but it's hard to implement those passions into something tangible. For you guys, I don't think it's necessarily hard, but you showed up in your own reading, yay. Okay. so funny. I have a Capricorn friend, and I told her that the Devil card is the Capricorn card, and she goes, "Not in this house." So funny. And then you also have the Empress. So, all right. See, things are looking up. We just have to make sure that there's no conflict, right? No conflict between how you're feeling and how it looks on paper. Make sure that what you're, expressing to people is truly what you want, because the contract is everything. I don't know why I keep getting contracts, but if there's paperwork, if there's red tape, then you need to make sure you got the 5 of Wands in reverse and the 7 of Swords in reverse. So yeah, you really want to avoid conflict, and you will, because these are in reverse. These are great cards to have in reverse. So it's just about sitting down and really going through the red tape. If you guys have a lawyer, I would recommend you get a lawyer so you can look through some things, or a friend who is savvy in contracts and all of that. But this is some serious stuff. Here, I'll show you. So, the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Swords reverse. My camera flips the thing, so I don't know how this is going to show up when I upload it. But the Knight of Wands is first. And so coming out of Leo season, feeling really passionate. I think another couple signs got this card first. You're like, yeah, Leo season. But then look at his face. He knows what's coming. He's like, ah, shit, I have to do the work now. I can't just have this fun idea in my head. Yeah, so you guys have kind of been sitting pretty on this passion project, this idea, whatever it was, but that's pretty much all you were doing, was sitting pretty. Now that the physical has been very, very apparent in our lives, our reality is very, very apparent, you are seeing things as the 9 of Coins in reverse and the 8 of Coins. So again, that feeling of regression, that feeling of maybe I'm not accomplishing exactly what I want to, maybe I can't ever because it's not going forward. But this is a good thing, especially in this context specifically, because sometimes if we take on too much because we bit off more than we can chew, then in the end it won't pay off because you overworked yourself, right? And so now it's kind of like asking you to move the pieces around, minimize some things. Maybe it's minimize your expenses, minimize your staff, minimize whatever. Not minimize your staff, but you know what I mean? Like the people that you work around or work with. What needs to go? Something needs to go. The only reason why you feel like you're going backwards is because the universe is like, wait, come back. Look at this. Is this really what you want moving forward? Come back, look at this. So this is what this is. But some of you are being stubborn and not really going back. You want to move forward. So sorry, I'm just getting like a bunch of messages now. Okay, so for some of you, you are not going back and moving forward because you just want to get this started. For others of you, you're going too far back. You're going way too far back. Some of you are considering scrapping the whole thing. Don't do that. Don't scrap the whole thing, okay? It's just because you're regressing a little bit doesn't mean that you need to start all over. It doesn't mean that you need to start something completely new. It's just asking you to take 1 or 2 steps back. It's not like a whole thing, right? So sometimes you need to learn how to compartmentalize a project rather than seeing it for its entirety, right? Because what works in one part might not work in another part, but that doesn't mean that the whole thing is broken. You just have to fix and tweak whatever doesn't work. And you guys are going to feel really good about it because you have the Empress here and then the 2 conflict cards in reverse. So you're going to come out of this mental and physical conflict, or not physical, I'm sorry, emotional conflict, because it's like the passion that you had here and then the logistics that you have here, you're not worried about it anymore. And you're good. You are good. Okay, Capricorn? It's a pretty positive reading. I think you guys are just freaking out a little bit, and you don't need to. You don't have to scrap the project. You don't need to scrap the whole job. You just need to take a step back and really look at things to see if what you started in Leo season is what you want to bring forward now, because maybe something that you were really excited about back then isn't really helpful to your project right now. Doesn't mean you can't keep it in your back pocket for the future, but September is not the same as August. Like the vibes in September are definitely not the same as they were in August. So just take a couple steps back to look at what you started and tweak anything that doesn't fit, tweak anything that isn't going to help you progress. And yeah, just sit in this energy. Like you guys showed up in your own reading. You're good. You're good, you're good, you're good. All right, Capricorn. If you guys want a personal reading, my link is in the description below. If you follow me on Instagram, I do free daily tarot readings. Have a great September. Have a productive September, and I'll see you in October. Bye.